When we say there have been challenges in San Antonio this year, one of those is the future of our military status. The headquarters of Army North and Army South, both housed for decades at Fort Sam Houston, will be moved to North Carolina. Joining us is the city's Director of Military and Veteran Affairs, Major General Juan Ayala. Now, General Ayala, you have had a distinguished military career, and you've been doing this military job, but recently the city manager tapped you on the shoulder and said, I want you to take over and run the Public Works Department as well, because they've not been able to fill the position, and they need somebody with management expertise and leadership to run it. So congratulations on the confidence the city manager and the city leadership has shown in you.
Thank you.
Let's begin, if we can, by just a word about your background. You are a Marine general, originally from El Paso. Tell us some of the things you did in your Marine career.
Well, I spent 36 years in the Marine Corps, and I commanded on 5 different occasions, which were, it was very rewarding. But some of the highlights of my career were I was a senior advisor to an Iraqi division during the height of the war, Operation Enduring Freedom. I was also the chief of the Humanitarian Assistance Branch at United States European Command, which is kind of an oxymoron, a Marine humanitarian, but it was a great mission. My portfolio was Africa and Eastern Europe, and it was tremendous opportunity to highlight the importance of our presence around the world and to show the American footprint in some of these countries that don't see us too often.
Well, thank you for your service, and thank you for your service to San Antonio, where you translated the military service to advising the city on its military affairs.
Yes.
And you've done that for the last 10 years.
I have.
Tell us about that job. What is the job?
Well, the military is the #1 employer in the city of San Antonio. So it's very important that we maintain the missions that we have here, and that we continue to let the Pentagon know that we are ready to take more missions on, because we have the capability here. We have the infrastructure, and of course we have the workforce, and of course this is a great city for the military.
So you explained to San Antonians about the military, and you explained to Washington, the Pentagon,
yes,
San Antonio's needs, as well as articulated how we can help them, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's correct. I usually take the mayor at least once or twice a year to the Pentagon, and what we do is we advocate for missions that remain here. We thank them for keeping the missions, but we also say we want the Department of Defense to know that when they think of rebasing a mission, a military mission, they think of San Antonio first. And the other thing I think is very important is that during the Texas legislative sessions, we protect our missions. We have these protections around our military bases that we need to have, and we need to make sure that urban encroachment does not interfere with those missions, because if they do, they would have to go somewhere else.
Sure. On the whole, our military missions are firm and strong and even growing, correct?
Yes, and in my opinion, they are, right, even though with the changes. But there's some unique missions here, and one example is the Air Force trains basic military instruction, basic military training, or boot camp.
Yeah, every single person coming into the United States Air Force and
the Space Force, yes, sir,
requires basic training, and
that's
they come
right
to Lackland Air Force Base.
They come to Lackland Air Force Base.
Now, this recent change of mission, where we're Army North and Army South going to Fort Bragg. Talk a little bit about that. What are we losing? I don't mean necessarily in numbers, but we have long been the head of an army here, 4th Army and then 5th Army.
We're losing 2 headquarters, and what we're losing is the Army North, which is responsible for security cooperation in 31 countries in Central and South America, and then we're losing headquarters of Army North, which is responsible for homeland defense, basically. And we've fought a hard battle to keep them here, but that's who we're going to lose.
What did we have? What did they represent? They were the headquarters of 2 functions. It wasn't a huge number of people,
right,
but a critical designation for San Antonio.
Yeah, very, very much so. And there's a lot of missions I can talk about, especially with Army South.
Yeah.
But if you think of defense of the Panama Canal, if you think of some of the trafficking that goes on and some of the partnerships.
These are coordinators
of that,
they are those units. Yeah.
Yeah, we're coordinators. These folks work hand in hand with our allied militaries down in Central and South America. Same thing with Army North. Army North, Homeland Defense. Think of Hurricane Maria. Think of some of the disasters. Think of COVID, where they responded to. And Army North, their responsibility was to partner with Canada, Mexico, and part of the Caribbean.
And what's your sense of how we'll make that up? We continue to grow in the biomedical aspects of the military here, and we continue to grow in cybersecurity. So maybe we won't miss the positions, the numbers as an economic impact that much, because we still are, there are areas where we are strong and the only game in town. In biomedicine, we're one of the major places.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. And the point is, every uniform is a job. And so that's important for our economy. But I think where we make it up is, we're also, we're enticing the Defense Health Agency to bring more folks here. And I think we're going to be able to do that. And I think that's, once they're here, that's going to grow our military medical footprint.
And which is already very substantial.
It's very
second
substantial.
only to Walter Reed, I think.
Well, yes. And, we have the top level 1 trauma hospital, the Brooke Army Medical Center here. And we have 40 burn beds here. And so our medical footprint is very strong. And also our medical research footprint is very strong. And we try very hard to bring additional units
many
here.
Innovations in artificial legs and burn techniques.
Quick clot was born here. So there's a lot of things that are translated well in the battlefield.
Now, let's talk, speaking of battlefield, let's talk about public works. Public works is an extremely important function in the city. It has to do with street maintenance. It has to do with picking up the garbage. It has to do with sanitation generally. Pretty good workforce in public works. And a clean city requires an efficient public works department. And a completion of the capital budgets requires an efficient public works department. What have you thought about just in the last week since you've been named in terms of some of the major projects before the city?
Yeah, well, I'm still learning, and I have a great staff, but our mission basically in public works is the infrastructure of the city. So when you're talking about sidewalks, when you're talking about streets, when you're talking about stormwater, and if, we just had those terrible rains back in June, and controlling some of that, dams, alleys. So some of these things that the public is really interested in, survey after survey. When we ask our public, what are your priorities? Top of the list is always streets, quality of streets,
sidewalks in neighborhoods,
sidewalks, and then public safety.
And then you have government. I mean, then you have garbage pickup as well.
Well, the garbage pickup in San Antonio is a different department. However, we do work closely with them, and we work closely with all the departments. Really, if you look at public works, you have to work across the board.
Some of the functions you mentioned, such as the streets maintenance, arterial streets, neighborhood streets, really critical to the functioning of a city and its economy.
Absolutely.
Because it kind of impacts productivity, ability to move traffic, the general sense of well-being in the city. So you have a major job here in front of you.
I do. It's those are our lines of communication, as we say it, not only for all the logistics that it takes to move what we do day to day. You name it, it's on our streets, and also and it's part of the economy. We have to have.
Well, I think we've got the right person in a commanding general running public works, because I can see you early in the morning out at some of the public works stations, sending the guys out to do their job.
Yeah, those are boots on the ground. Those are the guys that really get it done.
Yeah, General, thank you very much for your service to our country. We're blessed that we have that experience brought now to our municipal function. What you've been doing in recent years in keeping our military part of our economy and workforce strong, thank you for that. And now we get your skills, at least for a while, doing public works.
Yes, sir.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining us here on KLRN.
Yes, sir.